Anyway, here with reaction, Fox News contributor, former Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich. Great to have you, Mr. Speaker. So, I know I speak for a lot of Americans. I watched the WEF. I saw what happened in Davos. I see the amount of money we pay for the UN, the WEF, the WHO. We pay the vast majority of money for the Paris Climate Accords. China and India are classified as developing nations, and they pay a fraction of what the U.S. pays. My question is, why does the U.S. continue to pay the bulk of monies for many organizations, international, that don't seem to like us very much?
Well, first of all, a lot of the liberal elites who favor paying the money don't like us very much either. So if you were to ask people like John Kerry, he's much closer to the international organizations' disdain for the United States than he is to people who think America is the most important country and that Americans ought to be taken care of. I thought it was symbolically perfect that at the time when East Palestine, Ohio, really needed attention, President Biden was in Kiev giving away more money and proposing that the United States create a welfare state for Ukrainians that we would pay for. I mean, this is the kind of policy that is madness. I'm for defeating Putin. I'm for helping the Ukrainians militarily. But I am against the idea that we should pour endless cash out with no notion of what victory would be and with no notion of responsibility. So I think if you want to get to a balanced budget, one of the places you start, and it's pretty simple. Chinese economy is almost the size of the American economy. Let's match the Chinese contributions. They give 198 million, we'll give 198 million. That saves us about $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Not big money, but if you can save $4, $5, $10 billion by not giving it away, it is a step towards a balanced budget, which is what one of our major goals should be.
So the WHO, we've given hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars to, and Joe Biden would agree, if they go forward with this agreement, he would agree to give over 20% of whatever pandemic materials we had, be it vaccines, be it gloves, be it masks, be it whatever it happens to be at the time, we'd give 20% to the world and take it away from the American people. Shouldn't we take care of Americans first with American money before we pledge to share it with the rest of the world? We'll share, but we have to take care of Americans first. Why is that not a priority?
Well, because I think if you are a liberal Democrat, you inherently believe that the United States is not a good country. You know, Ambassador Kirkpatrick, you gave a great speech once describing the Blame America First Democrats. Well, what's happened is they've now become the Weaken America First Democrats. If you look at everything the Biden administration is doing, from the borders to releasing criminals, to releasing terrorists, to giving money to Iran, again and again, what's the number one pattern? You weaken America. Weaken American energy, increase the importance of Russian and Saudi energy, and Venezuela. I think you have to understand that from the standpoint of the left, the United States is a bad country. And so the left really does believe that you shouldn't stand for the national anthem. You probably shouldn't say the Pledge of Allegiance. You certainly shouldn't teach American history accurately because their vision is of a world in which the world submerges us. That's part of why they love an open border. I mean, if they could get another 20, 30, 40 million illegal immigrants, they'd be thrilled. Yeah. They would think that's terrific. And every time we assimilate and get people to become Americans, it terrifies the left. Asian Americans now work very hard, want to get ahead, and guess what? Liberal school boards discriminate against Asian Americans because they do too well. Again, this is the same pattern. And what you've pointed out about international organizations, I think would be good for the congressional Republicans to go through inch by inch everything we're spending outside the U.S. and decide, is that really more important than a balanced budget? Is it really worth burdening our children with that debt? And if not, quit spending it.
Mr. Speaker, great to have you. Thank you for being with us. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.